I got an email from a fellow who lost his wife in a suicide bombing in Israel. The Sabaros was bombed, I think it's 2001. Over 100 people were killed or injured. And, of course, first he went into rage and he didn't know what to do. And he said a number of rabbis came and talked to him, and he said they almost all used the same story. They said, you're looking at the underside of a rug and it looks like there's all these knots in it. So that you turn the rug over and you see this beautiful tapestry that's been woven. And as long as you're looking at the knots, there's a place for frustration and anger and this feeling of how life is so unfair. But when you turn it over and you see this large, grand picture, you go, oh, there's much more to it. And his response to all this finally was to start a campaign in response to this suicide bombing, the death of his wife, a campaign of kindness. And he started doing small acts of kindness every day for someone. And he started a website, and now there's an email, and hundreds of people are on it, and they're all, sort of committing themselves to some small act of kindness every day. And in the middle of all this, one of the fellows on his list emails him this article from the New York Times. I didn't get a copy of it, that more or less said, scientists have now isolated the part of the brain that responds when you do an act of kindness, and it happens to be the pleasure center. That doing an act of kindness creates a pleasurable response inside the body. So, and that's just, they're even little mundane acts of kindness. The one I read, the first one that came to me was a fellow who, he's a manager, and one of the employees in a construction site fell and got hurt, didn't speak very good English. He just spent the time helping him fill out all the forms in English. So it's just a small act, and he says, people might say, that's, your employer, that's at your employer's expense and this sort of thing. He says, but the truth is, the morale of the whole work crew shot way up. The employee came back after 3 months or so and, was a happy, dedicated employee, that it really pays on a very practical level to be very kind.